Okay, Asia session live. Going to go over my Asia session trading process using momentum theory. So beginning of Asia session, Tokyo Open, I'm only focused on looking for setups on Nikkei. I start looking at Forex and metals at the start of the H4 Open, but currently I only want to focus on Nikkei. So I have Nikkei pulled up here, all the time frames, and I'm basically just scanning the hard time frames to see which time frame has the quick buy section lit up. So I can immediately see that the weekly and daily have that quick buy section lit up, and that tells me that we have bullish trend momentum on weekly and daily. That tells me that these two time frames are aligned, and I expect this time frame to push in that same direction. So I'm looking for setups on the weekly. I trade weekly bar setups on the M30 to H2. At the bottom there, execution time frame, weekly bar is traded on the M30 to H2. So here on the H2, the weekly is a setup time frame. And first thing that I do is I want to see the bar flow of that setup time frame. So setup time frame bar flows at the top here. I can see that last week closed as a bearish breakout week. So when we have a bearish breakout bar in bullish trend momentum, I'm looking for one of my bullish trend momentum setups. So we have bullish trend momentum with a bearish breakout bar. I'm looking for a trend reversal setup. So trend reversal setup, I want to see price come down, fake out the setup time frame, which is the weekly, and I want to see it fake out the momentum time frame, which is the daily. And that first move, I want to see it get back up to that weekly breakout level. So over here, I can see that price has not come down to trigger that previous week low. So there's no setup here on the weekly. I'm just going to set alerts here just in case it comes down or if it breaks out. That's what I'm looking for here on the weekly. But until it triggers that previous week low, I'm not interested in any setups on the weekly. On the daily, same process. I'm looking for setups on the daily. I trade daily bar setups on the M10 to M20 at the bottom there, execution time frame. And here on the M15, the daily is a setup time frame. First thing that I do again, look for the bar flow on the daily. So I can see that yesterday or Friday closed bearish breakout. We have a bullish trend, and it's the exact same setup as the weekly. So I'm looking for a trend reversal setup. Want to see price come down, fake out the setup time frame, which is a daily, and fake out the momentum time frame, which is the H8. And then I want to see if price can get back above. And we are doing that here on the daily. Price has come down, faked out the previous day low and the previous H8 low. And once it does that, I'm looking for my alignment patterns. So I'm looking for reversal alignment patterns. And the alignment patterns are over here. We have alignment patterns, and currently the daily is in breakout reversal. And so I'm looking for one of my reversal alignment patterns. Reversal pattern, continuation pattern, or a pullback pattern. And currently, I can see that we are in a reversal pattern. The way that I know that we are in a reversal pattern is I look at that H8 breakout level, the momentum time frame breakout level, which is right here, is breaking out of a previous low, and it's a breakout low, faking out the current previous H8 low below that breakout level. And this is the behavior of a reversal pattern. Breaking out below the low, faking out the low, that's a breakout reversal move. H8 is in breakout reversal. And then I'm looking for a safe entry above the breakout level. These text in black, these are safe entries when I'm trading these patterns. The ones in gray are aggressive entries. So I can see that we've already done that. I just want to see price get above that breakout level, and then I can take that move back up. So first trade on a trend reversal is to take it back up to the breakout level. Second trade is from the breakout level to the high. And this is if we have strong momentum. And the breakout levels here, entry would be above that breakout level. So I'd be looking to take this move back up to at least the previous day high. There are a bunch of levels here. I have to be careful about all these levels, but we do have strong momentum. And hopefully it will get up if it closes above. All right, so on the momentum cycle itself, what's happening right now on both the daily and the H8. We're breaking out, faking out the lows. And once you fake out the low in a breakout reversal move, I expect price to get back up to at least the false breakout. And let's see if it can continue back up. Okay, so that's what I'm waiting for. Set the alert there. I just want to see price close above, and then I'll look for continuation. So one thing I don't like is I can see on the daily here, we have a month range high. And if I look at the monthly chart, we have an inside bar. So that's one definition of a range for me. These are my definitions of ranges. If we have an inside bar, or a string of fake out bars, this tells me that we have indecision in the market and then that creates consolidation and a range. So we have an inside bar, previous bars, highs and lows become the range. And so we have a range right now, and we are currently pushing out above it, but this range continues to exist until there's a breakout bar in this time frame that closes above. So it's 4 more days until confirmation. There's always a chance that this can actually come down and respect that range, so I have to be careful about this move. So when we're triggering this monthly range, what I want to see confirm that it's going to continue is I want to see a move on the weekly to confirm that this monthly is going to start pushing. The weekly is the momentum time frame of that monthly. So again, if I hover over any of these time frames, it'll tell me the execution time frame. So when I'm looking at monthly moves, I want to trade this at the H3 or H8. So I can at the H8, monthly is a setup time frame, weekly is the momentum time frame, and basically what I want to see is some sign on the weekly that tells me that this monthly is good to buy. And the sign over here is if price actually comes down and fakes out the previous week low. So I don't like what's happening right now. I actually don't like this setup. And it's because I don't have a sign on the weekly that tells me that this monthly range is going to break. Right. So we have faked out the high and we have a bearish breakout. So actually, we don't have any sign that this is going to continue pushing up. So I'd rather see a fake out this week. Last week, we had a nice breakout here. This would have been a nice buy. I actually did take this, ended up break even. But right now, I want to see price come down. I'd rather see price come down, fake out the low. But I am a mechanical trader. I have that set up on the daily. If price gets above the H8 breakout level, I'm not going to overthink it. If once you add discretion into your mechanical strategy, that completely breaks the system. So if I get a closure above here, I'm going to take this based off the daily. But by price action, the way that I read it, I'd rather see this come down. And so I do like what's happening right now. I'd rather see this come down, fake out the previous week low, and then I'll assess if I can take an aggressive entry here. Otherwise, I'd wait for that range to break. But right now, I'm not going to overthink it. Set my alerts here and see what happens. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on Nikkei. I'm not going to look at this again until the alerts get triggered, right? And so now I'm going to prep for the next session, next volume in Asia session, which is the H4 Open. And at this point, this is when I start looking at daily setups. Haven't done my daily scan yet. Usually I do that right at Tokyo Open while I'm waiting for this to set up. So right now I'm going to be looking at daily. So these are my core pairs. The ones in red here in Asia, I'm looking at Nikkei and gold. I'm not going to look at gold until the H4 Open, but I can clearly see that we have bullish trend momentum on these ones. These ones are my London core pairs, and these are my New York core pairs. And I trade gold in every session. And looking at the H4 and the H1, so my core pairs, I day trade as well as scalp on the H4 and the H1. Right now, I have some setups, possible setups here. I like how this is closing. We're looking for a move here on gold on the H4 open. So when we have a bullish breakout with bullish trend momentum, I already know that first setup I'm looking for is going to be a trend retracement setup. But I'll have a look at that later once I close the scalps. I look at right at the bar close. Right, so H4 and H1, I'll look at these right at the bars closing. And USD pairs, I also scalp. Nothing here on the Asia pairs. So the way that I set up my Forex pairs on the left are what I focus on in Asia. Middle is London, and then on the right is what I focus on in New York session. But UJ, I trade in Asia as well. USD pairs, you can actually trade every session, but I would mostly focus on these two, Asia, Aussie USD and NZD USD. No setups here just yet. But right now I'm looking at the cross pairs, the daily. So cross pairs, I only focus on day trading. So I'm looking at the daily. These are yen pairs, Aussie pairs, and NZD pairs. And the same process applies when I'm looking at Nikkei. In Nikkei's case, I looked at one pair on all time frames. When I'm looking to day trade, I look at one time frame on all pairs. But the same process applies. I just look at that quick buy section. I'll just set these up. And all I'm doing is just seeing if it's lit up. And that's it. So I'm just creating my watch list here, what I'm going to be looking at. Aussie pairs moved quite well last week, so I would expect lots of Aussie moves here, retracements most likely, NZD, USD, Euro NZD. All right, so that's it. That's what I'm looking for on the watch list in Asia. All I did is just looking at that quick buy section, so it makes it really quick to know when we have a setup. And again, this just lets me know that these two time frames are aligned, and I expect this one to continue pushing. So when we have something like this, we don't have a good one. These are breakout reversals. These are both mixed bias cycles. We have peak levels pushing down, and we have breakout levels pushing up. So that's not what I'm looking for when I'm looking to trade a daily. In this case, we have breakout levels and peak levels pushing up. And so this is why I'm interested in NJ and not on EuroJ. And that's simply how I do my higher time frame bias. All right, so what I'm looking for on AJ, I can see that we have trend momentum on the monthly as well. So we are breaking out over here on the monthly breakout, and then price came down, faked out the low. So this is a trend breakout setup. Breakout, faked out the low, continue back up. And right now, I don't have really clear idea what's going to happen here. So nothing for me on this one just yet, but we do have something here on the daily. So daily structure, we have a bullish breakout followed by a bearish fake out. And again, the first thing I always do when we have trend momentum is I look at that structure. Right, so we have a bullish breakout followed by a bearish fake out, and we have the breakout level of the daily right over here, and the previous day low looks like it's right at the same level. So when it's right at the same level, I consider this as a trend continuation. We have a bullish breakout followed by a bearish fake out, and this is the bar flow for a trend continuation. So I want to see price fake out the setup time frame, again the daily momentum time frame, which is the H8, and I'll look for pullback alignment patterns back up to the fake out level. So I want to see price get back up to that fake out level. We've already triggered previous day low as well as the H8 low. And for our AJ, same exact pattern, reversal pattern here, breaking out of that H8 breakout low. And then I want to see price. So breakout low, I want to see a fake out. And then the safe entry would be above that H8 breakout level. I think this would be less than 1 hour though, if I take something like this. So I probably wouldn't want to go for this. Other thing about the yen pairs is that there was such a strong move last week that usually I wouldn't want to trade right back up to it. But again, that's more of a discretionary idea. So if I do get the setup here, I'll take it, or I'll have a look at it. If I can get a nice entry, then I won't mind. But otherwise, I don't think I'll go for this because it's less than 1 hour back to that fake out level. So again, trend continuation setup is going right back to that fake out level, but I'll keep that on the watch list just in case. Other possibilities, I can find a move on the H8 where I trade on the M5 and get a tighter entry, but let's see what happens. All right, so that's AJ, NJ. So I kind of don't really like it because of the the yen pair movements. And this would be the same exact setup: bullish breakout, bearish fake out. Breakout levels right here. And in this case, the previous day low is below. So this one I consider a trend pullback. So bullish breakout followed by bearish fake out, and we're below the breakout level. So very similar setup. It's just dependent on where that breakout level is. This one we're above the breakout level, so we're technically bullish. This one we actually failed. We're down below. So this one I would actually be bearish until we get back above. But since we have higher time frame confluence, then I don't mind taking an aggressive move from down there. So what's happening on this one, if we get back above previous day low, we actually broke out. So let's see, we have the breakout here, faked out the high. So we have a breakout, faked out the high, which is a breakout reversal, got below the breakout level, which is a false breakout move. And what I'm waiting for is a fake out retracement and then getting back above to take a pullback continuation move. But since we just rejected at the top and then failed, my expectation is that it would actually continue failing. So this one I don't like too much. But again, if price can get back above this H8 breakout level, then I'll have to take a look at it. But since we do have that rejection at the top, and we're currently in trend reversal, we're actually reversing the daily trend. We're below the daily breakout level, so we are bearish on this on the daily. So I would actually prefer this to continue pushing down, because I wouldn't want to take this sort of move just yet. Okay, so another one that I'm not too sure about, but again, I'm a mechanical trader. If I get that set up, I'm gonna look for an entry, and then I just continue with the process here. Breakouts here, structure, it looks like we're coming up to a year peak. And currently what I'm looking for, again, we have that quick buy section here on the weekly and the daily. First setup I'm always looking for on a breakout is I want to see price retrace. I'm always looking for a trend retracement setup. That's always going to be the first setup that I'm looking for. And a bullish breakout bar with trend momentum, but it did not retrace, it just broke out. So if it broke out, I'm looking for a trend breakout setup. So price has broken out, and what I'm looking for, first setup is I want to see consolidation and then take the breakout, but that did not give me any entry on the first one, so now I'm waiting for price to pull back, fake out a low, and take it up. In order to fake out the H8 low on this time frame, um, this H8 bar basically needs to close. So I already know that I'm not going to take any trades on this until this H8 bar closes. There is a possibility that this can set up for me for a scalp, so I'll keep an eye on this on the lower time frames on the H4 as well as H1. But as a day trade, um, it's not going to be in this session, maybe London session or New York session. Right, so nothing there for me on AUD. And this is the same thing, broke out, want to see it pull back, fake out the low, take it up. So this is not going to be this session, just going to move on. And again, these USD pairs, if it does set up, it'll be a scalp for me, not a day trade. Okay, Aussie CAD. So again, all these Aussie pairs, I think, are going to all be the same thing. They've already broken out. So I need to see a pullback. These ones I don't scalp, so I already know that I'm not going to be trading this Asia session. Okay, Euros, I was looking at it on the daily here. Weekly also had a strong move. Monthly, we're coming down. We're at breakout levels here. We have the quick buy section lit up on the weekly and daily. Weekly setup, looking for a trend retracement. Want to see price retrace. So this one we have bearish trend momentum. So we have bearish trend momentum, bearish breakout bar. I think both are going to be the same yet. Weekly breakout, daily breakout. First setup is trend retracement. Want to see price retrace back to the breakout level. Fake out the momentum time frame, take it back down. Weekly breakout levels here. So I'd actually prefer this to pull back a little bit higher, maybe around this breakout level. But technically it is setting up here, but it looks better here on the daily. Daily, we have a bearish breakout. Want to see price retrace back to the breakout level, which is right over here. Fake out the momentum time frame, which it has done already, and then I want to see it get back below the low. So this is setting up already for me. So again, want to see the pattern that it creates. Once it triggers that momentum time frame, I'm looking for a breakout alignment pattern. Current cycle on the daily is in pullback continuation, looking for breakouts here, breakout alignment patterns, reversal, continuation, or pullback. And again, first thing that I do, look at that H8 breakout level. It's breaking out of a low, and we're faking out the current H8 high above that breakout low. So this is a pullback pattern. We're breaking out below the previous low. Price has got above, right? Breakout, faked out the low. That's a breakout reversal, getting back above, and then fake out the high here is a fake out retracement, getting below this breakout level is a pullback continuation. So H8's in pullback continuation. This is a cycle I can trade, but we don't have good movement here. We're in a range. Hard time frames in a range as well. The danger with a pullback continuation. So if you look at the cycles here, is we're looking at this one. These are good cycles to trade, but the problem with these ones is they're going right back into the previous price action. So I wouldn't expect price to just plow right through. I would expect a little bit of turbulence until it can get through. But I don't mind taking these, but I just have to remember that these are probably going to take a bit of time to complete. I don't like that it's faking out that month range. So that's not good at all. So we have an inside bar, creates a range, and we have not triggered that range until now. So I don't know how this is going to behave. Is it just going to break? Is it going to reject over there? For me, if until there's a breakout bar, this range exists. So my expectation is that it's going to go right back up and just get stuck in that range. So I probably don't like this one. Even though we have bearish trend momentum, I don't like that we faked it out. So I do need to see it break out um, below. So this is, to me, this is not valid. I go based on closing price, wherever price closed. And because it faked out that range, I don't like this. I need to see price close back below. So even though I like the structure, don't think I have enough R for me. So I probably wouldn't take that. Maybe if it comes up again, I might go for that. But for now, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna skip this one because technically, it has faked out that range. So another one that I don't really like too much. And let's see, Euro NZD. Euro NZD, same thing. So my process is exactly the same. I just look for the quick buy section and then look for setups there. So we have a breakout here. That's a trend retracement. Looking for price to retrace back to the weekly breakout level, which is way high up. Fake out the momentum time frame, which is way down low. So usually when I see that breakout level and the peak too far away, then I know that this is usually not the correct time frame to trade this. This is probably going to be a different time frame. And again, I can trade this weekly bar from anywhere on the M30 to H2. So I'm going to have a look at the H1. Breakout level is still high up. And yeah, so I don't think this is going to be the right one. So I'm not going to be looking at the weekly, not setting up the way that I want. But the daily, we have a breakout followed by an inside. And this is a trend continuation, bearish one. Breakout followed by inside, trend continuation. So I want to see price come up, fake out the setup time frame and momentum time frame, which it has done already. It's actually not too bad. Let's pull this up a bit. We have a range here. I could see H8 range high, and we have trigger that range. So when you fake out one side of the range, I expect price to get back down to the other side. So nice confluence here. Um, We've triggered that momentum time frame, looking for my alignment patterns. We're breaking out. Last breakout bar is right over here, breaking out below the low. Faked out the low, that's a breakout reversal, getting back above. Faking out the high is a fake out retracement. So we're in a fake out retracement move. And that's what I'm looking for. I want to see get price close below H8 breakout level, which it is closing below. I need to see a breakout bar. And so I'm just waiting for my entry here. So I'm going to set an alert on this one. Do like this. If I get an entry here, then I don't mind. Looks like on the M15, we have two opposite facing fake out bars. We have that range high, range low. And again, that's my definition of a range. When we have fake out bars in a row, that creates a range. And we have that fake out bar. We have that bullish fake out bar followed by bearish fake out bar. Lowest lows, highest highs become the range. And so we're in a range here. So I'm going to set an alert here. I would rather this pull back, break out, and then look for another entry back down when that range gets taken out. I'm just going to set alerts on both sides of this range, and this one I don't mind. So let me just double check those other time frames. A nice breakout. Flip that breakout level. Didn't give me rejection at the top, but breaking out below makes this valid. If I don't have rejection, then I'm waiting for a breakout. Okay, your NCD is not bad. I don't mind that at all. GPAUD, we have quick buy section on all these higher time frames. Your NCD, do we have it all? Only weekly and daily. So this is good confluence for me when you have lots of higher time frame bearish trend momentum. That tells me that the yearly is pushing down, 6 months are pushing down, And here, these 6 months and 3 months are aligned. 3 months and monthly are aligned. Everything pushing down over here. So I think I actually do prefer GBP/AUD. And same thing, I'm looking at the structure on the monthly. It is a uh, how'd that close? Okay, it's a bearish breakout followed by a fake out inside. When you don't have a breakout in any two bar combination, then that means that we're in a range. So we're in a range on the monthly, but we are breaking out of it. Not confirmed yet for another 4 days here. So there's still a possibility that can come back up. So I'm not don't have that move here on the monthly, but we do have one here on the weekly. We have a bearish breakout bar, and again, first setup on a bearish breakout is I want to see that trend retracement, and so I want to see price retrace. Hasn't triggered the momentum time frame, so I'll have an alert set over there. See what it does there, um, and move on. Daily, same thing. I'm looking for my setups, looking at that bar flow, bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out. This is that trend continuation move, and I want to see price come up to that previous day high. All right, so I like GBP/AUD and Euro NZD. So these are the two that I'll be focused on in Asia session. So I'm going to set these two over here. So these are the two that I want to watch. And then I mark up what I'm actually looking for. All right, so in this one is setting up better actually than GBP/AUD because the H8 breakout level is down low. So actually what I would prefer is for the next H8 bar to actually close in bullish breakout. So this breakout level will get pushed up to the previous H8 high, which is right here. And then the new breakout level would be here. And so this would be a lot better for me if I see this. Let's see price breakout, push this breakout level up, show me rejection, and then take it down. That's what I'd like to see on that one. All right. Okay, so that's it. And don't need to do anything else here until alerts get triggered. So I've already set my alerts, done my session planning, Tokyo, as well as my day trades. And now I just wait for the H4 open or if the Nikkei sets up. And again, I would rather Nikkei come down, pick out the previous week low. So I do like what's happening now. I'd rather this come down instead of give me an entry. But that's it. And I'm going to go grab my breakfast at this point, have my coffee, and then I'll be back around 9:30, 10-ish. I don't come back right at the H4 open. I usually come back an hour later. And let's see. All right, back in Asia session. Still nothing has set up here. It looks like Nikkei is coming back down. Hopefully it does. Want to see it come down to the week low. All right, so at this point, I don't think I'm going to have any day trading setups. So I'll be focusing on the USD scalps. All right, so see UJ is breaking out over here. Going to drop down lower time frames to the H1. Let's see the H2. I always like to see the H2, how that's looking like. UJ. So I'm focused right now. I can trade USD pairs. I can trade any session, but I usually want to focus on the Asia ones, which is NZD, USD, Aussie, USD, and UJ. This one very clearly is pushing out, breaking out. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for this H1 bar to close. I just got to the chart, so I did not see this break out. There is some consolidation here. It looks like nice levels. Let's see what UJ. Just double checking what the higher time frames are doing here. We have trend momentum on the daily, currently pushing out. Three most traders in breakout reversal. Monthly traders are in trend reversal. I always like trend reversals because those only show up at the swing points. We're flipping that last daily breakout level, breaking out below the low. So we're in a trend reversal. Previous trend was bullish, and now there's a possible bearish trend. Actually, this is already confirmed, the bearish trend, as last week closed, taking out that breakout level. We're bearish on the weekly, but monthly is still, again, 4 more days until this confirms. So don't know if this is going to confirm as a breakout bar. If it does, then that tells me that the monthly is bearish, and we still have other hard time frames that are bullish. But I'm not looking to trade a monthly move. I'm looking to trade just a small scalp here. So I'm just focused on these lower time frames. We're breaking out. So I think the logical move right now is wait for the 10 minutes to close this 1 hour, see how this closes, and then I'll look to scalp that 1 hour bar. Okay, so I'm going to anticipate that move on UJ. So I'm going to set up my workspace. Can anticipate that 1 hour move. And then when I'm scalping a 1 hour bar, I'm trading that on the 1 minute. So hover over this quick buy section, execution time frame, H1 bar is traded on the M1. So we don't have trend momentum just yet, and that's because this bar hasn't actually closed. So if we do have closure, this should be lit up, and then this makes this setup valid. But what I'd like to see price close as a bearish breakout bar. Then I'd be looking for a trend retracement on this H1 bar. Um, so as soon as I see that breakout bar, all my setups, breakout bar with trend momentum, all my setups open up. First setup on that breakout bar is a trend retracement. If it gets above that breakout level, then I'm looking for a trend pullback. If it breaks out above, then I'm looking for a trend reversal. As long as we still have bearish trend momentum, I don't mind taking a reversal like this. These are really risky because technically the H1 would be bullish since we broke out. But if we do have higher time frame confluence, then I don't mind taking that. And if we have trend momentum, it tells me that weekly and daily are pushing the same direction. And so I don't mind taking a reversal from up here. So these are the three setups that I'll be looking for if this closes as a bearish breakout bar and price pulls back. If price instead breaks out, then I'm looking for a trend breakout setup. But let's see what happens. First, I want to see this close as a breakout. There's no guarantee. 8 more minutes. Let's see what happens. Okay, H1 bar has closed. Technically don't have trend momentum because we don't have an actual, I don't like these breakout straight to another breakout, and there was no sort of fake out in between here. So this is kind of a odd move here. Let's check the M15. All right, so we do have trend momentum on the 15 minutes. So I'm going to drop down to the 15 seconds and see if I have any setups on this time frame. Just double check if we have anything else here. Nope. Only UJ at the moment. All right, so we have trend momentum, bearish trend momentum on the M15, and I trade this M15 bar on the 15 seconds. Again, my setups are completely fractal. They trade exactly the same on every single time frame. And so I drop down to the 15 seconds where I have the M15 as the setup time frame, M5 as the momentum time frame, and I look at the bar structure of the M15. Right now we have a string of fake out bars, which tells me that I am in a range. Bearish one. So that tells me that we're in a range here, which means I have no setup. And so what this means is that I'm not taking any trades here until I see a breakout bar. And so this is pretty, it's nice to see that. It's always, I want to take a trade, but I don't have a setup and I don't trade movement. I trade setups. And so I essentially am just waiting for an M15 breakout bar. So I'll be back in 12 minutes. I don't think anything else here is setting up. So these are slowly doing what I want. On Monday, I'm not in a rush to take any trade. I'm waiting for perfect setups. And so I still want to see these happen. I want to see a pullback here. And this, I'd rather see this breakout. All right, so just slowly being patient, and I'll be back at this 15-minute bar closure. All right, 15 seconds here. It looks like it might close, or it probably will close as a breakout bar. And if we have a bullish breakout in a bearish trend, then I am looking for a trend reversal setup. Bullish, bearish trend, bullish breakout bar, looking for a trend retracement, trend reversal setup. What I want to see is price come up, fake out the previous M15 high setup time frame as well as the momentum time frame. So it has just triggered it. I want to see it get underneath. So this would be the first thing that I'd be looking for, that fake out, and that would validate the setup. Let me just get MetaTrader set up here. So I needed to see it get underneath. All right, so first thing that I'm looking for the setup is for price to get underneath. If I'm watching this, what I want to see is this 15-second breakout level get flipped. Right, we have a fake out there. That's the first sign of a reversal. And I want to see this breakout level get flipped. And that's the sign that it'll go. And since I don't have any day trade setups, most likely won't set up for me. I'm going to be scalping this one a bit aggressively. So, and momentum theory, the whole idea is that we identify a higher time frame direction, and then you break that time frame down into smaller parts and look for the alignment on a lower time frame. So I can actually break down this 15-minute bar into 3 5-minute bars. And so within this 15-minute bar, I want to see how the momentum of this is moving. The momentum time frame is the M5, so I can drop down to the M5 and I trade this on the 5 seconds. And we do have bearish trend momentum on the M5, so I can actually take this on the M5 as well. But I can see that we are in a range, and so remember what I said about ranges. When you fake out one side of the range, I expect price to get to the other side. And so that's exactly what it's doing right now. We have a bullish breakout bar on the M5, so I can look for the same setup. It's invalid now. I need it to get underneath this level. But if it can get underneath this level, then the setup is valid as a reversal. And this is the first time that I'd be looking for a move. And I'm going to be getting in this aggressively. I'm just looking at breakout levels. The only levels that exist in my trading are breakout levels, peak levels, and closing price. Every single time frame behaves exactly the same way. If you learn how to trade one time frame, you can trade every single time frame. Every single time frame behaves exactly the same way. I look at the exact same things on every single time frame, and that's what allows me to stay in flow state as I'm trading. So I know exactly where my entry is going to be. It's going to be as price gets below this breakout level. So we're right at the edge of the range. So right now, my thought process right now is that we are at this range. We're in a range, so I'm looking for a reversal at the top of this range, and I'm looking for a trend reversal on this M5. But we have to stay below. If this closes above, then this is invalid, and I have to wait for another 5 minutes for this to get down below. So M1 has closed bullish breakout followed by a bearish fake out. I'd like to see a rejection at the top here. I always want to see rejection after a breakout bar. If I don't get that rejection, then a breakout of a low is what I'm waiting for. 15 seconds has flipped the 15-second breakout level. So the 15 seconds is now in a bearish trend, now a bullish trend. Bearish again here. Closure right there. And the indicator lets me know the exact bar that my setup is valid. So we have a false breakout move there. And just want to see, this is a 5-second chart. So I just want to see price continue down. That was the closure. And this is the entry. So stops at the high. And I'm looking for a move all the way back down. So this is an aggressive entry on the 5-minute. Whole idea is that the higher time frames reverse before lower time frames. And so I got that entry on the 5 seconds, which looks at the 5-minute. And then the safe entry on the 15 seconds is the reversal pattern as price gets below the M5. So if price can get below the M5, then I'm going to take that entry as well. All right, so waiting for that. Okay, we got a closure below, looking for continuation. 15-second bar. Again, lets me know the exact entry right here. Trend reversal entry. Just want to see continuation. This is a 15-second bar. Just waiting for a 15-second continuation. You can find it here on the 5 seconds. We're pulling back now. If we can get a reversal back, breaking that peak of this M15, then I'll go for it on this breakout. So I'm in one position. This is an aggressive one. We're actually breaking out of the previous M5 high, and this is at reversal at the top. And these reversals are going right back to a bullish M5 breakout. So these are still bullish, but this is aggressive entry. It only makes sense to take something like this if you're going to hold for long. And you can see that if I'm able to catch the entire move, that's a 6-hour move. So trading at these low time frames, it only makes sense if you're going to have large risk to reward. I wouldn't trade like this if it's only a 1-hour move, 2-hour move, and you keep your size low. All right, we're getting a closure below. I'm looking at the 5 seconds. I just want to see closure and continuation. So let me say that again. When you're trading at these low time frames, you want your position size to be small. And I like to size in. So if I'm trading like this, low time frames, I'm sizing in. So I build up my position because a lot of times these can actually go against you, take you out. But as long as you have bullish trend, the higher it gets, the better price you get. So I don't mind getting in aggressively. Right, so I'm just waiting for this to close just below, just 1 bar close and then a continuation. That's enough for me. But price is a little bit stubborn here. All right, here we go. Want to see a closure, and this is a 5-second chart. So again, I just want to see continuation. Not yet. Faked it out. All right, still nothing here. So nice to see my rules kept me out. Okay, I'm just going to pause and wait for the entry. All right, we're breaking out again. Closed below. And I'm looking at that 5 seconds. Want to see continuation here. Okay, got it right here. Stop loss, same level. We are in a range here. So this is technically range trading on these lower time frames. And that's it. So I don't want to mess with ranges. I don't like trading in ranges. Just going to take 2 positions. And that's it. So I wasn't able to size in fully, but I'm happy with these. There is a range here on the M5, and I can see that price has touched it a number of times, wasn't able to break out. So this is something that I'll have to take a look at. I do want to take it onto the low because we had that nice H1 bar breaking out below these levels. So I would expect the price to continue, but it is Monday and I'm just gonna be more conservative with how I approach this. So trend reversal setup, first trade is to that breakout level. And this is actually decent risk to reward over here, about 3R down to there. If it starts reversing there, then I'm just gonna cut it and look for something different because I don't like being in a range here. But I would like to see if price can get down to at least this range low. All right, so that's it. Took my trade. Let me double check. The day trades were pushing up, pushing down. Nothing else going on for me. And that's it. All right, so let's see what happens here on UJ. All right, got down to the range level. Let's see what it does here. If it starts to double back, I'm just going to take out what I have here. Otherwise, took a while. So just going to see how this 5 seconds reacts. Let's get down to that H2 low. Okay, it's good enough for me. Taking it out and done with the trade. So really nice move here. 6, 7. My son would love to hear me say that. All right, 6, 7. About 7R in this move, 7.5. I do expect it to go more, but I am scalping. This is Asia session. Not going to take more than that. All right, so done with that. Really nice trade here. Some people don't like trading in ranges. I don't like trading in ranges, but I'm perfectly fine holding them as long as I keep my stops at the highs. When I'm trading in ranges, keep your stops at outside that range, and I don't mind holding through that entire thing. Right, and so happy with that. And the trade is right over here. Doing my trade journal already. We had trend momentum, identified trend momentum actually on the H1, but on the M15, this is where I identified trend momentum. And as we had that bullish breakout bar, that shows me that we have a trend reversal set up. That's my hard time frame direction. And then I traded the 5 second entry and the 15-second entry straight down to that low. I took it out right as it got through. And that's it. All right, so nice trade, done, and moving on. So before I move on, the whole idea of the concept of momentum theory is you identify higher time frame direction, break down that higher time frame into smaller components, and then you trade that lower time frame alignment. And I trade every single time frame exactly the same. There's no difference between how I trade taking entries on the well, I don't take on these time frame bars, but if I take an entry on the H1 or the H4, I trade exactly the same as I trade on the M5, or in this case, 5 second and 15 second. All the setups work exactly the same. There's no difference in any time frame how all these setups end up. All right, so that's it. Really nice trade to start off Asia session on a Monday and going on to next session. So next session is looking at London. So none of my day trading pairs set up, and my London pairs are over here. We have the daily on Euro, GBP, and Swiss, and then I'll put my London watch list on this tab, right? And so I just flow through the entire day. I trade all 3 sessions exactly the same. There's no difference in anything that I do, and that's it.